Welcome back to this lesson of an introduction to Sakha. I have been here preparing this for a while now because it's a long one. We're gonna breeze through the grammar section because it's honestly a mess. You'll see what I mean. Anyway, this is one Bihis Urwok, the 15th lesson. We will look at a lot of vocabulary. Jie soyache. Cleaning lady or housekeeper, literally like house cleaner, but not just for a house, not just for a house. Tirepke, rag, sus, trash, bull, dust, salkin, air, which I think comes from Sakh in Mongolian, Sakh, which means wind. At least it looks and sounds kind of similar. Sarsarta, morning or in the morning. Ule, work, noun. We already learned ulele, the verb. Atan, other or another. Belem, prepared. Soy, to clean. Khabui, to remove, to tidy up. Sot, to wipe off. I told my old teacher we don't say to wipe unless you talk about the bathroom. We say wipe off, but in Sakha you can just say sot all the time. Ul, to take. As, to open. And sap, to close. Very useful verbs. Alright, the grammar section of this is long. Feel free to pause and read it, or go to the original PDF, link in the description box. But basically what we're talking about is consonants. Okay, this is basically telling you that when they put a word from Russian into Sakha, they'll add some other vowels into it because if you put too much consonants together, it doesn't fit the Sakha sound system. So, kastriuka, that didn't sound very Russian, but kastriuka, is, which means saucepan, I guess. I had to look it up. In Sakha would be kustrunke. You see how it sounds really different. Kachiestva, saying it so Sahai, Kachiestva will become Hachistaba. Hachistaba. So, yeah, then that means quality. So, if you know Russian, you know some Russian words, you may see the Sakha word and be like, what in the world is this monstrosity? And then you find out it's just some Russian word that you already know. It just looks totally different. Kind of like when I learned Bahuba, meaning spasiba. I was like, what in the world? Yeah. So, anyway, so, yeah, that's that. That's all that's telling you. And then, it's telling you how some consonants don't come next to each other. Sonorant consonants cannot come after unvoiced consonants. If you like linguistic terminology, this is for you. If you don't worry about it. This is just telling you how when some consonants, some sounds come together, one of them will, or usually one or the other will change. So progressive assimilation, that's when you add something to a word, you add an ending, and the beginning of that ending will change to fit the ending of the previous word. So when we say parta, and then we want to make it plural, partalar, we keep the original ending, lar. But when we want to make escape plural, it would be hard to say escaplar. So we say escaptar. It changes to a T. Traktor, traktordar. I think that's supposed to be an A, not an A, but it's not real Sakha, it's Russian with Sakha added, so who knows. An, and make it plural, becomes anar. That's why when you learn like the plural ending or a verb ending or whatever, there's like different sections of the table, and they'll start with different consonants, and it's not just to like annoy you, fortunately, but it is just to make it easier to say. So even if you didn't learn these rules and you just got really good at Sakha and pronounce it like they do and just keep learning, you'll naturally end up changing those sounds anyway because it's natural. It's not like an arbitrary rule. All right, regressive assimilation is the opposite. So you add an ending. The beginning of the ending doesn't change, but the last letter of what you're adding the ending to does change. So, for instance, Kurat, from Kurat in Russian meaning city, you add ka, and then what happened? You changed the t to a k, so you have Kuraka instead of Kuratka, which would be hard to say, and if you say it fast, it would end up being Kuraka anyway. An plus nga, you end up with the N becoming an NG, so you say anga. Very Sakha sound. And then honestly, I don't know what he's, let's see. I don't know what he's talking about here because I'm pretty sure it is always spelled. Saha speaker, if you're watching this, you can correct me. He's saying like they only show the assimilation, the regressive assimilation sometimes in writing, but I've never heard it said any different than how it's spelled. So I'm pretty sure that's like not true. But regardless, we'll look at the examples. So it's just talking about how we do show us definitely how the R will change to an L in verbs or in nouns that become plural. So if we say turar, and then we want to make that a plural verb, turalar, we don't say turar lar, because that would be hard to say. Turalar, oloror becomes oloror, olorolor. Bar becomes balar. It's just when we add the ending that R changes to an L. Chaktar, chaktalar. All right. The T will also, the terminal T of the stem, aka the T at the end of the word, will change to match the K and or P. So like, as for instance, we already saw Kwaraka, or if we say Kwarat plus put, we end up saying Kwaraput, our city. Sut plus pat, sapat. And then the N, if there's an N at the end of the word, when you add something that starts with an M or a ng, an ng, then you end up making that N change with it too. So on plus but, the N changes to an M. But, our door. Uren, uremit, or uren plus mit, uremit, negative form. So, like, doesn't study. He doesn't study. We say uremit, okay? An plus nga, anga, on the door. In loan words and names, the second and third kind, it said sword, so I had to change it. The second and third kind of regressive assimilation are indicated in writing. Second and third, so this one and this one. He's saying the first one doesn't indicate. Where's number one? This is why I don't like traditional textbooks. I do sometimes, but sometimes they're so convoluted, and I don't mean no insult to the man who wrote this. He did a very good job. It's just I personally don't jive with academic speak very well. I can do it. I know the words. It's just it's a lot of extra work to like translate the Latin speak to real English. So it's not my cup of tea. But anyway, I digress. Kapitan, captain. Kapitamut, kapitanga. Sabalyot, airplane. Sabalyoka, sabalyoput. I guess what he's saying is like we write the sound changes for these two types of sounds coming together, but in other cases, when you use a loan word, like a foreign word in Sakha, it may not be spelled. Like you might put the Sakha ending, but not spell the sound change of the end of the original word that you're attacking something onto. Anyway, my thing is though, I like to show y'all how to say stuff. I do like to go into some grammar, but I like to show y'all how to say stuff and learn the grammar through actual examples. And it just does have examples. Again, it's good, but if you didn't get it, don't be like, oh wow, Sakha's hard. Don't be like, wow, this guy doesn't explain well. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But my point is, academic book speak is not going to be clear to everybody, including myself. So just wanted to make that clear because so many people come to me who I teach or friends who ask me questions about languages and they say, oh, well, I don't understand such and such. But then it's like I go look at it and it's either not clear or it's clear in academic speak. But if that's not your cup of tea or that's not what you like to look at, it's not going to be easy to interpret. So I like to keep it daily speak. Okay, I like true English. I'm a purist. Okay, so I'm not going to be being like, oh, did you notice the aggressive assimilation? No, I'm going to be like, you notice that letter changed because it met with that other letter? That's what happened. All right, let's get into it. Toyara askualaga ulelir. Tuyara school at works. Tuyara works at school. I will read the Sakha once, the literal translation once, and the natural translation once. Kini jie soyache. She house cleaner. She is a cleaning lady. Sarsarda erte. Toyara kalastare. Hamuyar. Morning early. Tuyara classes tidy up. It doesn't really say the up, so I'll put a squiggly. If you see a squiggly, that means that it's one word in the Sakha, but it's two words in English to make it clear, in the literal translation part. But if you see a regular dash, like class is, that's because you have kalas, class, tar, it's like is for plural, and then the case ending, the accusative case ending, the direct object ending. If you study Korean, we went over the accusative case recently, the last lesson, I believe. If you study Korean, that's like the object marker. If you study Japanese, that's like o, nani o shimasu ka, that o, marking the object. And if you speak Mongolian, that's like the yig ending. Yeah, the g ending to show the direct object. So a lot of other languages have this too. Not too hard. It's just we don't really have it in English, although we do have it for some pronouns. Like I gave him a book. You don't say I gave he a book. He is a subject. It's a doer. But if someone's being done to, if you're doing something to him, which is giving him a book, you say him, right? So it's like that, except for we can add that ending to anything, not just changing the pronoun from he to him as we do in English. All right. Bastan kini kalaska an wana fortachkane ahar. Okay, that needs to be highlighted. Oh, my last lesson, I forgot to color code the endings. Sorry. But I will do that every time otherwise. All right, at first, Bastan, she, class in, kalaska, door, accusative case ending, an, and wanna, window, n. Fortachka is window in Russian, okay? We already learned window in actual Sakha, which is in a later sentence in this thing. To nuke. So you don't have to say the Russian one if you don't want to, but you may hear it because a lot of Sakha people are bilingual in Russian and they speak two tongues, Russian and Sakha. Okay? Opens. Ahar. Let me read that one more time. Bastan kini kalaska ane wana fortochka ne ahar. At first, she, class in, door and window n opens. First, she opens the door and window in the classroom. And you have a note there about how that means window in Russian. And as means to open, as you learned in the vocabulary. But when we add ar, that C changes to a light H. Ahar. So we don't say asar, we say ahar. Onton uras tirepkeni alar wanda astualu ala postaru partaları ıskabaykaları urastık sotar. I know that's a lot. Then clean rag ni, take and table, those again are the accusative case endings, direct object endings, chairs, school desks, benches, cleanly wipes. So remember, urastık, that took is like li, cleanly. Then she takes a clean rag and wipes off the table, the chairs, the desks, and the benches well. Here's the thing for the dictionary. I put ras means clean, rahur means to become clean. We also have to take, an to do something over a short period of time, for short duration, or to do something for one's own benefit. Okay. Tünnükleri ıskaptarı anı emiye sattar. I keep forgetting to do that one. Okay. Windows, closets, door, also wipes. She also wipes off the windows, the closets, and the door. Now it might be like annoying to think about the object, right? But keep in mind it's helpful to understand the sentence because you're not saying the window is wiped or the window is wiping because we don't have is in Sakha. We just have one present tense as that we're going to use. So having the e and the these accusative direct object markers is going to tell you that's being done too. So done to the window, to the closet, to the door. Oh, what's being done? Also, what's also being done? Oh, wipes. And that's third person, so she's also wiping the windows, the closets, and the door. Onton tuyara sıhı homuyar. Then tuyara trash tidies or removes. Then tuyara gets rid of the trash. Anne kini. Notice this is not anne. This is anne, meaning now. 1a. Kini ulahan tirepkeni alar wanna buastane satar. Now she, big ragni, takes and floor the wipes. Now she takes a big rag and wipes the floor. Kalas ras boala. Salkana uchige boala. Now this boala is past tense. Class, clean, became. You could translate it as became. Air, it's, that is like, I believe it would be called genitive. That means it's like possessive. So it's air, the class is air. So you don't have to say the class became clean and the class is air. You can just say salkana, it's air. Yuchuge boala became good. Or in English we might say the class is now clean and its air is fresh. Or its air is clean too. Hanada se soch bul soch. Did I put... Hold on, I gotta see. Okay. Okay, never mind. So hanada, anywhere. Trash, no. Dust, no. AKA, there's no trash or dust anywhere. Tuyara fortachkane sabar anne sabar. Tuyara, window de, closes, door closes. Tuyara closes the window and the door. Window or windows and the door. Sap meaning close. I put that as a note so you would notice. Wait, it doesn't say sapar because the P lightens when it meets with a vowel. So we say sabar. Alright. Onton kini atun kalastare homuyar. Then she, other classes, tidies. Then she cleans up the other classrooms. Agas chaska kalas barata belem buala. 8 o'clock at, so chas means o'clock. Class all ready became. All the classrooms were ready for the students by 8 o'clock. Belem, you could also say belen in some cases. We also have there the verb belemne, to prepare or to make ready. If you want to do the answer the questions section, you may do so on your own, or you could just listen to my translations of the questions. Tuyara hanna ülelir. Tuyara, where works. Where does Tuyara work? Kini kimi. She who e. Who is she? aka what is her job title is probably what they want you to answer. Notice this is not the accusative case ending. That would be 1e, kimi. This is kimi. That's the question ending that you'll see sometimes. Tuyara kalastare hahan hamuyari. Tuyara classes when tidies e question ending. When does Tuyara tidy up the classes? So we have hahan when, and I also put some expressions. Hahan, some sentence examples with hahan paired with these other words. Hahan eme kelire. Someday he will come. That's sad. Hahan ere kurbutun. I once saw it. Hahanda hayota batagam. I have never been late. Okay. Bastan kini tuguganar. What does she do first? I'm not going to read the literal translation for all of these. Ontan kini tugu satarui. Then, what does she wipe off? Wanna kini tugu ganari. And what else does she do? Kalas haidach boala. How did the classroom turn out or become? Tuyara tugu sabar. What does Tuyara close? Wana kini hanna barari. And where else does she go? Kalastar bare hahan belem boalalar. When were all the classes ready by? Okay, one more read and translate section. You gotta keep taking off this translate because I done translated it for y'all. Y'all can do it if I'm legally allowed to, and I do republish this with my edit, prettier edit. Then I'm going to just have that as a read section, but then I'll also put it without the translations and in a separate page for those who want to translate it, practice on their own. You don't have to do the translations, but it can be helpful if you have time and want to. But really just seeing example after example after example, that's what's going to help with the language. Like little kids, they don't translate nothing, right? They just hear it, and monkey see, monkey do, monkey hear, monkey say, and they get a lot of examples from life and from reading in school and reading books and what have you, and they pick up the language very well. And you can do the same thing. So you don't have to do translation activities, but if you want to, please go to the original book, An Introduction to Sakha, PDF in the description box, and you may do those activities. There are also other exercises in the book that you may do if you want to. I think they're boring. I'm not against exercises, but again, you don't need them. They can be helpful, especially if you're trying to approach language from an academic, like if you're trying to learn it just to be able to analyze it linguistically and write papers. Some people do that for some of these languages like Sakha, and that's fine. But if you're like me and you just want to learn the language to speak with people, understand the music, enjoy the culture, or your friends who speak the language, get closer to them, whatever it may be, you don't need to do all that. So don't feel like, oh, I have to do that. I have to do a bunch of boring exercises, and I'm trying to do it, and I get it wrong, and then I, all that crap. You don't have to go through all that trouble. Just keep absorbing the language, practice speaking. You'll be fine. All right. Jesuyache sehe hamuyar wana bele sotor. Again, I'm not going to read the literal translations anymore because this video will be an hour long. The cleaning lady cleans up the trash and dusts. Kini bugün bostane soibat. Today she doesn't clean the floor. Soibat. So you'll notice this this letter there that I just highlighted. That letter is sometimes a y, like a y consonant, and sometimes it's e, like the e vowel sound. Just keep that in mind. Yürek sarsardı tagus chaska boğalar. The children's lessons start at 9 o'clock. Klas yüreğe ağız chaska belem boğalar. The classrooms were ready for lessons at 8 o'clock. You'll notice this double X combination. It can be yüreğe, and I used to teach it like that because it was easier. But I don't like dumbing stuff down. I like to just give people how it is. Most people I've heard who are Sakha, if they speak Sakha a lot and not Russian, then they will say it. It's like this throat sound, and it sounds cool. I like it. Kalas salgada sarsarda uchuge boalar. The classroom air is good in the morning. Bugün askualaga elbek kinigedi tetreti haradahı bireller. So we have a lot of accusative case in there, a lot of direct object marking. Today at school, a lot of books, notebooks, and pencils were given out. And Saha literally gave. All right. Uchutal eigin ngerbat aten anu ngerar. The teacher isn't calling on you, so this eigin is the accusative case, the direct object marker of you. So the teacher isn't calling who? Isn't calling you, then you put you, N, into the form eigin. So the teacher isn't calling on you, she's calling on another kid. Why are you answering? How rude. If someone said it to me in class, I would not be their friend. Anyway. Bu askualaga kara anu alalar ulahan kihini albatar. This school only takes, or I put admits, little kids, not grown-ups, not big people, is what we literally said. Tunuku achaman. Ane achen. Okay, so close the window. Close. Or sorry, don't close the window. Don't close. Don't close what? The window. So that's why we have the direct object marker. You may remember ma makes it it's actually uma. Achama. So we have the verb as. Achama. So uma means don't, and then if you're telling multiple people, you put the ng. So achamang means don't y'all close. Ane achen. And the achen, that should be red. Okay. So, well, no, not really. It doesn't have to be red. No, because that's one thing. Yeah. So, door, object marker, achen, close. Command form. Don't y'all close the window, but do close the door. Tetreti alabang. Kinigini alung. Don't take a notebook, take a book. All right. Kinigini sap. Tetreti as. So remember, for a command, a singular command, we don't have to, and we're not saying don't do something, we can just use the infinitive of the verb. So close your book or books, we'll just say book here, and open your notebook. So she's talking to one person likely. Duaskane rastuk sot. Clean off the board well, or clean it cleanly, wipe it cleanly. Bieli ul wanna duaskaga surui. Write on the board with chalk. So in this case, in English, we say with chalk. In Sakha, bieli. Biel is chalk. Chalk, from Russian, biel. Alright. En bu kinigeni ulama bu atan kihi kinigete. Don't take this book. This book belongs to someone else, belongs to other person. Bu sehe hamwi belasot. Clean up this trash and wipe the dust, but we'll say dust the classroom. Anne sabamang achen. Don't close the door. Open it. Iti astualu sotuma. That U should be purplish pink. Kini ras. He, she, clean. Don't wipe off the table. It's clean. And friendly reminder that this word iti, they usually translate it as this or these with something plural. I sometimes translate it, as some do, as the. We already know that this is bu. Bu is like volt. Voici in French. It's hard to translate to some other languages or including English, but it's kind of like the in English. Bu is like this here, but iti is this, but it's kind of like the thing we were talking about or the thing in question. All right, so don't wipe off the table. It's clean. Oh, and there's another word there that might be useful for you. Itinik, such or like that. Neiyang in Chinese. Koroke in Korean. I forget it in Japanese. Sore. I think it would just be sore. Anyway. Almost done. Sorry, this lesson's so long. It's just a really long lesson, and I wanna teach y'all some Yakut. I don't want to skip out on y'all, so here we are. Bu astualu uchuge dik satung kini kirdech. Clean the table well. Wipe it well, as it's dirty. It doesn't have the word as, but it's dirty. Okay. Uchutal kimi angrar. Teacher who calls. I put that star just to like point out about the accusative case, but I already talked about that a lot, so we'll move on. Who's the teacher calling on? So if it was Kim, I will say something. If it's Kim by itself, it's who is doing blah blah blah. But Kimi, who is the teacher blah 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 to? Who is she calling on? Who is she calling to? All right. Itikihi tugu kepsir. This person, what accusative, tells. But what is this person or this man talking about? Bu kihini kim bieri. Okay. Who knows this person? If it was Kimi, it would be who does Bu kihi kimi bieri bileri. Then it would be who does this person know? But we have the object marker on kihi. And don't have an object marker on Kim. So it's like, who knows this guy? Does he even go here? Bu kihini kim bileri. Alright. Ol kus tugu agari. What's that girl reading? And ol is actually like that. Okay. Iti paras kimi MT. Who does this doctor treat? We're going to have a little bit of review from last time here. Harag hanak paras MP. Sorry, MT. Which doctor treats the eyes? Kuemei bu paras kururdo. So you could hypothetically say, so that is throat as an object, right? Doctor as a subject because there's no marker. So does this doctor examine the throat or treat throat problems? If I want to, I could also say bubaras kuemei kururdo. I could flip it around and the meaning will still be clear based on the endings that we add. And that's the beautiful thing about this kind of language. It makes it a little flexible. English is flexible too, but we kind of rephrase it a little more dramatically when we do that, when we move stuff around. Ol baras bugün jonu kururdo. Is that doctor seeing anyone today, or is he seeing folk today? And again, reminder, we don't have that like is blah 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 in. It's just present tense, kurur. So you're literally saying, does he see or he sees some folk today? So in some ways, Sakha is written more simply and put together more simply than English, but some ways it's not. All right. ME, again with this ME, I'm pretty sure it should be MP because medicine is imp. Again, if anybody knows the answer, the verification of that, please let me know because I'm just like, that seems weird to me. Why did the book say ME? I think it's a typo, but I want to make sure because I don't want to accidentally be wrong. So I'm honest with y'all. You're welcome. Where is one given the medicine? Mteke Hanabari. Where's the pharmacy? Baleha Hanabari. Where's the hospital? And we're done. Okay. Yay. Okay. That lesson was just a little much. It was a little long. I will let you go. Okay. Good luck. Have any questions? Let me know in the comments.